Hey, what's good, everybody? It's Zachary Bell here from RealFansSports. Make sure you click subscribe below to stay locked into our fan list reviews and all of our sports content. Cheers. Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Zachary Bell with RealFansSports, and this is our first episode of This Week in Sports, where we're going to bring you all the latest news and highlights that are in the world of sports today. That's going to range from everything from the NFL, the NBA, WNBA, MLB. If you want boxing, you want lacrosse, volleyball, don't matter to us. Leave a comment below if you want to hear our opinion and what research we can dig up on it. Leave a comment and we'll feel free and muchly obliged to answering some of those questions and give you the details on what we can find. But today, on the first official episode, we're going to go ahead and talk about, one, Doc Rivers and the state of the Philadelphia 76ers. We're going to talk about the Saints and all of their new transactions during this offseason, picking up some new wide receivers. Can Jameis lead this team to a Super Bowl run? I don't know, but we'll break it down. We're also going to talk about the WNBA. We're going to talk about the power ranking teams going into the season that just kicked off, who's going to be there late into the playoffs, and then what's some other things that the media and the WNBA as a whole can do to help publicize their sport a lot more and get more viewers and more attention from us sports fans. So we'll talk about that a little bit, and then lastly, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the MLB, go ahead, run through the rankings, who's the leading teams, and also a big upset that happened just a couple days ago. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. And let's talk about the Philadelphia 76ers and Doc Rivers. So they just went ahead and lost the 7-game series against the Miami Heat, where afterwards, one of the reporters asked Doc Rivers how's he feel about his job security. And Doc Rivers' response was, "I don't worry about my job. I think I do a terrific job." Yeah, I mean, every coach should feel that way, but this is the problem. Doc Rivers, who has been a phenomenal regular season coach, he's coached for over 23 years with a record of 1,043 to 735, has a .587 win percentage, which actually tops out as a top 37 all-time head coaches of winning. But in the postseason, he has fallen short so many times, and too many times, in my opinion. He's only had one finals run with the Celtics where they were able to win back in, I believe, 2008. But since then, he's really struggled. He's one of the few coaches to lose after having a lead of 3-1. He's done that on 3 separate occasions, once early on in his career, and then one very recently. He's also done it with the Clippers as well. And the only championship that he has won is whenever he was being held up by one of the biggest big threes, being Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. Is this starting to become a trend where Doc Rivers just can't get over this hump of getting into playoffs, playing proficient basketball, or do we need to start putting some of this blame onto the players? Because we all know James Harden came in for Ben Simmons, but like I said, it kind of looked like a dud. He wasn't really performing the way he should. We went back and looked at some of his previous stints in the NBA, especially his years back in Houston, where he was averaging 30 points per game. And over the last 2 seasons, he's only averaged around 20. And then since leaving Houston, his shot taking per game has significantly decreased, going from 24 to about 12 and 13 the last 2 previous seasons. What is the fix? What does 76ers need to focus on? Is it a coaching issue that he just can't get over the hump? Are these players not falling for his system and relating with him? Or is this just a 76ers problem that their process ain't processing the right way? And from there, to go into the Saints. The Saints have made some big signings in the offseason. They went ahead, grabbed Jarvis Landry recently, one of the LSU boys from local town right around my area, as well as Tyrann Mathieu, who also is a fellow LSU alumni, and then picking up a big wide receiver in the draft, trading up to go and grab Chris Olave from Ohio State. Now, does this mean that the Saints are a contending team now? It seems like they have all the weapons. We're still unsure about the AK mix-up on what's his suspension going to be. Is going to happen this season, going to happen next. We're not quite sure yet, but if anything, this just allows the Saints to really get a true look on, is Jameis the one? Because I know all of national media does not believe in his ability. As a Saints fan, I like to be optimistic, and I like to say I think he can do it. I think we have a great defense. I think we have weapons on offense. I think if Jameis can lead this team, it shows him that he can be a great quarterback. And then also, he has no excuse. If he can't play well, then we can make our steps forward into the future. Now, we also got some news that Drew Brees, after seeing all the new signs, did state that he hasn't decided on his future yet after leaving NBC, that he still might come and play. He might go back to broadcasting. He might do this and that. And I speak for majority of Saints fans out there. Drew, please don't come back into this locker room unless you're coming as a coach. Allow us to move forward. We love you. I love everything you've done for the city. But as a Saints fan, we need to move on and we need to progress towards the future and not keep trying to, hold back into the glory days. Let us move forward. If you want to come in, you want to coach and help work with Jameis and get him elevated to the next level, please, we'd love to have you. Other than that, enjoy your time off. Enjoy your time with the football talk's over. Let's go into some WNBA. The WNBA has just started. The Chicago Sky, the reigning champions from last year. And who are the top dogs this year? So, of course, they're sitting at number one. They're ranking high. They brought back their entire starting lineup, as well as bringing the Belgium duo, Emma and Julie. But the only problem with their team is that age can be a factor. We did see that happen a little bit as they went through playoffs. Is that going to be a factor going into long term? Or are they going to be a hold off and battle Father Time one more time? We shall see. Right below them, we're going to have the Seattle Storm. Sue Bird is going to be back, as well as two other former teammates. And this potentially Sue Bird's last season as well. The Seattle Storms have been a storm for the whole entire league, bringing down the rain on all the teams. They've won 2 titles in the last 4 years, looking to make it a third this year. Let's see what can come out of it. But competing with them is Connecticut Suns, who were top of the league last year, but couldn't get over that playoff hump. Are they going to be able to exceed through that, fight past that adversity? Or are they going to be the team that is similar to who we talked about earlier, being Doc Rivers, that can't get over that playoff hump and finish the deal? So that is one thing we're going to see, and it'll be interesting to see what WNBA team is going to be holding up the championship trophy. Now, going into that, let's talk about just the WNBA as a whole and how they're publicized. What are some things that the WNBA can do, national media, other broadcasters can do that can help liven up their viewership? One thing that I noticed on social media that I saw commenting was, should they lower the goal to 9 feet? Me personally, I think it'd be a great idea. I think it'll bring in more athletic plays. We're all human. We have short attention spans. We want to see big dunks. We want to see posters. Fundamental basketball is their niche right now. That's what they do in the WNBA. But we want to see some of that athleticism, because some of these women are so talented, and I would love to be able to see that become a huge part of their sport. But on the opposite side, it could be a con, because some of these players might feel like it might be degrading to them. So what are y'all thoughts on that? And then to lead right into it, what are some games that y'all would like to see us stream? We plan on doing some WNBA games during the summer. Right now, currently on Amazon Prime, they have a lot of games going live on there. So if you have Amazon Prime, make sure you go check them out. And definitely come check out our channel back, because we'll have some live games and give you our live reactions and play-by-play to the sport. And last but not least, going on to the MLB. So, we've already seen a minor upset going on early on in the season, where the Astros finally lose their 11-game win streak, which included wins against the Minnesota Twins, who are 21-15 currently. And they're going to go ahead and lose to the Washington Nationals. They're going to lose 13-6. The Washington Nationals being a way under 500 team. The Nationals put up 13 runs on them, which was 1 run more than what the Astros had allowed in that whole entire 11 win streak that they had going on. And then, looking at the leaderboards here at the MLB, we have the Mets and Milwaukee, who are tied at first in the National League at 23-13 record, just ahead of the Dodgers at 22-12. And then the American League is led heavy by the infamous and probably one of the most hated sports groups in the world, at least the country. The New York Yankees sitting at a record of 26-9, who are just ahead of the Astros, who are sitting at 23-13, just behind them in the American League. So we're looking forward to a lot of MLB baseball. So guys, as the NBA season is slowly coming to a close, currently in the conference finals, but the finals will be in just a couple weeks, we'll be bringing some more live play-by-play action for the WNBA and the MLB. So make sure you go ahead and let us know what your team is. That way we can try and cover some of those games, give you our real fanalist review on those teams and on those games and how they're doing. But more than ever, guys, I appreciate you and thank you all for being here. Make sure y'all like, make sure y'all subscribe if y'all enjoy this content. I hope y'all enjoyed the first episode of This Week in Sports. We are real fans trying to bring you real content that the fans want to hear from people that enjoy watching the game just as much as you do. So have a great morning, noon, night, wherever you are in the world today. I'm Zach from RealFansSports. Check you next time. Cheers.